dive into the NBA.
Yes.
It's been a historic month for young Steph Curry. You talked about him in your solo a few days ago. Make sure you go listen to that podcast. Jimmy brought the fire.
Yep. The Steph of Legends.
The Steph of Legends. And Steph has a record-setting month of April so far. So Sunday, he hit 7 3-pointers, and he has 85 so far, which is an NBA record for a month. And it's still counting because we still have 4 days left in the month.
Yep.
I think he has at least 2 games.
All right, so that's another 23s on the record.
Exactly. He's going to have, he's going to make, he had what, 5 straight games of 10 straight threes? Of 10 threes in a game? I mean, Steph is playing stupid. So right now he's averaging 38 points per game this month. And I think he's shooting an absurd over 45% from 3 just because he's Steph Curry. So the question I have to ask you, Jimmy, is you tried to explain this on your solo. Should we consider Steph Curry in the MVP race?
I think so. I think it makes this race so much better and so much more interesting when you put him in there with Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. I think that he's earned it. And that's part of the reason why when he was asked about this last week, he felt like he should be the MVP because the resume that he's putting in is actually a bit more illustrious compared to what Embiid and Jokic are doing, because what Steph is doing this month is he's setting records. What Jokic and Embiid have is they have career best numbers, career best seasons, but we've seen seasons like that before. Now, they're both unique. Jokic is very unique as well as how he runs the offense, and Embiid has a very unique skill set, probably one of the top 3, top 5 offensive skill sets we've seen for a center. So they've got some things going for them, and they're in the running right now. They're probably number 1 and number 2 in any order, but I think Steph does need to be included in this, and I think this is a big part of the reason why he's playing the way he's playing. That gives him that extra bit of motivation because he feels like, honestly, he's playing like he believes he is the best player in the league, and his numbers are showing that.
I'm with you on that, Jimmy, but here is a very big problem, flaw in this argument for Steph Curry to become MVP. His team is right now the 10th seed and might be in the play-in game when it comes to the playoffs. He might not make the playoffs. I'm not sure of any MVPs that didn't make the playoffs. I haven't gone back to see if there's any.
Yep.
I may need to do some research and see if there's any on the list of players that have won MVP didn't make the playoffs. But if your team's not a top 4 in the rankings in your conference, you're not getting MVP unless you do one of 2 things. You have a historical season that's either super rare or ain't been seen before, or you have the best storyline of anybody in the world because it's more of a narrative-based award. The problem is Steph doesn't have a storyline because he's been hurt. When he did play, his team's gotten better, but he's been hurt. And he's not actually breaking any season-long records that people care about. Him hitting 85 threes and counting so far is par to the course for Steph Curry. Even though it hasn't happened before, the only person that's ever done it, the record he broke was James Harden's, which was from November of 2019, where he hit 82 threes in the month of November. Steph is not doing anything that's just so overly historic like he did in his first two MVP runs that if he doesn't outdo himself, he's not going to win MVP again.
I don't think he has to. I think that part of what he's riding on is reputation, the fact that he's been the media's darling ever since the Warriors changed basketball. So you look at Embiid, some people, I see him as a troll. He's great, but some people see him as a troll, and he's Joel Embiid, and he's often injured. Nikola Jokic, as great as he is, he bores people, and he's in a market that no one really cares about. So then you have Steph Curry coming in, 3-time Finals champion, 2-time MVP, the only unanimous MVP in the history of the NBA, and now he's doing this. He's breaking these types of records. I think that part of what he's going to do is float on his reputation.
This is the reason why he won't float on his reputation. He's the only unanimous MVP in league history. If he doesn't outdo that, he will never win MVP again. Prime example: Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. They've done great stuff. They've had consistent great years. They've had great reputations in the league. Why don't they win? Why don't they win MVPs anymore? They got bored. They didn't do anything to step out. Like we talked about LeBron and how he can win an MVP.
Mm-hmm.
This is what LeBron's got to do to win an MVP, and Steph has to do something similar. LeBron has to have a 50, 40, 90 season. He has to average a triple-double. He has has to win a scoring championship,
right?
With the league's best record, and he has to win Defensive Player of the Year. If he does one of those four things, LeBron will win another MVP. But he'll never do any of those, so he'll never win MVP again. With Steph Curry, it's the exact same thing. Steph has to give us a 50, 40, 90 season. He has to break his three-point record, or he has to average a triple-double. Something of that nature is what's going to get the voters a storyline. That's how Russell Westbrook won it as a 7 seed. He had a triple-double, something we haven't seen since Oscar Robertson, and basically we ain't never seen in our lifetime.
Right. So you feel like his historic April is not enough. But but what helps that is the fact that it is April. If this is November and December that he's doing this, it doesn't matter because that's early in the season. And then obviously after that, he didn't match up to that. But he's doing this as voters are starting to make up their minds. They've been going back and forth between Embiid and Jokic, but now you have Steph over here having this historic month. So that actually helps him. Now, on my solo, I said that in order for him to win this, Jokic has to start losing games. Embiid has to miss time. He's got to get them out of the play-in tournament. Steph Curry does, and he's got to win a scoring title. Of those four, given what he's already done in April, I would say the most important one is to get them out of that play-in spot. So I do agree with you that obviously they got to make the playoffs, but he's got to get out of the play-in because what he can say then is we started out at the bottom.
Now we're
here. And I did it having lost future Hall of Famer, my number 2, Klay Thompson, before the season started. So then he can look at Jokic and he could say, yeah, you lost Jamal Murray, but did you lose him before the season? He can look at Embiid and say, you never really lost Ben Simmons. I lost my Ben Simmons. Right, and I was still able to do this. So he's got that on his side as well, that he lost his number 2. Draymond Green can't score anymore. He can still do everything else well. He can't score anymore. Kelly Oubre is up and down. Andrew Wiggins is just there. And to take that team out of the play-in tournament when you were at the bottom of the league, potentially looking at a number top 10 pick. Oh, yeah, and he lost his number 2 pick, James Wiseman, to an MCL. So you see, it's nothing but losses.
Yes, there's nothing but losses, but the only way he'll make the playoffs is because of a unique season.
Okay.
That's the problem. Like you said, if Steph can get to the 6th seed, they won't.
Why not? Okay. Do you have the standings pulled up right now?
Yes, I'm looking at them right now.
What is the amount of games between the 10 spot where they are and the 6 spot where they need to be?
3 games.
He can't 3 games? So you telling me it's over? You talking about missing the playoffs? He's 3 games away from getting out of the play-in tournament.
He's 3 games away from making it out of the play-in tournament.
He can do that.
He's not. They're not going.
How many games do they have left?
Let me go look. Let's look at what the Golden State Warriors have left.
Because it's 72-game season. I think they're like 32-30.
Yep.
32-30. Okay.
31-30.
31-30. So you've got 11 games to continue this historic pace and to get your team. Hell, just at least get them to the 7th spot. The 6 would be better, but at least get them to the 7th spot where you call the shots, and you only need 1 game to officially get into the playoffs. So you mean to tell me if he does that and continues this historic pace that the media is not going to gift him this award?
No.
Why? Why do they like Jokic and Embiid so much more?
Because Jokic is doing something more historic, and it's a much better storyline.
Okay, let me hear it.
Nikola Jokic right now with his team, they're what, the 4 seed right now? They're the 4th seed at 39-21. Jamal Murray,
who the Warriors just beat a few days ago.
Yeah, Warriors that beat them a few days ago. That's cool. MVPs lose games, but Jokic is also playing at a ridiculous efficiency level. I mean, he's at Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar type season. He's shooting 56% from the field, 40 from 3 at 3 a game, while also shooting 85% from the free throw line. He doesn't shoot very many, but he's at 85% from the free throw line, while also scoring 26, 10 rebounds, and 8.7 assists. Jimmy, he could possibly have a 50, 40, 90 season while averaging a triple-double.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why Steph is not going to beat Nikola Jokic for this. He's at 26 and 10. He's having a ridiculous season we've seen before out of a big man.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's what you have to have in order to sway the media or the narrative to even care about what you're doing.
Do they care that much about that?
Yes.
Do they?
Yes, because the only reason why Giannis won it 2 times in a row is because the Bucks had the best record.
Yeah. Which the Nuggets are not going to have. So I'm just saying what you just mentioned there. Now, the 26, 10, and 8, hella impressive. But the efficiency aspect of it, do they care as much about that?
Yes, this year they do. This is something that has jumped out to everybody. Like I'm looking at Basketball Reference, and their probability chart, they have him at 65% winning the MVP.
Yeah.
With number 2 is Giannis at 11. Kawhi's 3rd, Kyrie's 4th, and Rudy Gobert.
Wait a second. Giannis is 2, Kawhi is 3?
Yes.
Why should I pay any more attention to that? That does not sound right.
Yeah, because Embiid's gone because he's been hurt. His injuries, to me, has hurt his bid for MVP.
I mean, not in the minds of the voters. He's still going to finish top 3. He may not win it, but he's going to finish top 3.
He probably will. But this is more so, this is just their probability chart based upon the way that they're performing right now with all the efficiencies and everything that everyone looks at. Jokic is having a ridiculous season, and Steph Curry's not even top 10 right now.
Okay, so then he's got to add a scoring title to that.
Oh, yeah.
He's never won that, has he?
I do not think so. No, he's going to have to do
so he's got to win the scoring title. He's got to get them into the 6th seed or 6th or 7th seed. And, well, the season ends 2nd week in May. So we have about 3 weeks left of the regular season.
Yep.
So as far as what he can do over these next 3 weeks, that's going to be tough to add to it. He does need like a third. He needs a third leg of his MVP narrative, even if he nails the first 2, which is still going to be really hard to do. But there is a path for him. Yes, right now Jokic is the leader, but they have 11 games left. He can still, now that he's got the attention of the voters, he can still do a little bit more to get himself up there.
Well, as of right now, he is leading. He does. He has 1 scoring title, and he got it in 15-16. So
okay.
He did win that year of leading the league in points per game.
How many did he average that year?
30.
Okay, so then this will be more than that. So
and
I'm going
right
to
now he leads the league in scoring,
right.
31.
So I'm going to win a scoring title, averaging more points than I ever have, even more than when I won the scoring title, and I won the MVP that year. I mean, that's something.
He was also the top record.
Mm-hmm.
He went 73-9 that year.
That was a 73-win season. Yes.
So you want to keep that argument going?
I'm going to keep it going. I think he's got a shot.
I don't see it.
We'll know more in a week, I think, because they will have played another 3, possibly 4 games since then. But I think he has a legitimate shot.
This week. 2 games this week, 1 on Saturday. So yeah, by the time we come back to the show next Monday, that is going to be the next question of.
Let's go, Steph. Less dancing and more MVP narrative writing.